But let us begin again from the point from which we digressed. Leftovers. For it would seem people quite reasonably reach their conception of the good, i.e., of happiness, from the lives they lead. For there are roughly three most favored lives: the lives of gratification, of political activity, and third, of study. The many, the most vulgar, would seem to conceive the good and happiness as pleasure, and hence they also like the life of gratification. In this they appear completely slavish, trickable, since the life they lead on is a life for grazing animals. What we would care about is the grass. Still, they have some argument in their defense, since many in positions of power feel as Sardanapalus felt, and also chose this life. The cultivated people, those active in politics, conceive the good as honor, since this is more or less the end normally pursued in the political life. This, however, appears to be too superficial to be what we are seeking, for it seems to depend more on those who honor than on the one honored. Whereas we intuitively believe that the good is something of our own and hard to take from us, pain, embarrassment. Further, it would seem they pursue honor to convince themselves that they are good. At any rate, they seek to be honored by prudent people, among people who know them, and for virtue. God's favorite. It is clear then that, in their view at any rate, even God's hate, virtue is superior. Perhaps indeed one might conceive virtue more than honor to be the end of the political life. However, this also is apparently too incomplete trickery again, for it seems possible for someone to possess virtue and be asleep or inactive throughout his life, and moreover to suffer the worst evils and misfortunes. If this is the sort of life he leads, no one would count him happy, except to defend a philosopher's paradox. Breaking the rules. Enough about this, since it has been adequately discussed in the popular works as well. The third life is the life of study, which we shall examine in what follows. The money-maker's life is in a way forced on him, not chosen for itself. And clearly, wealth is not the good we are seeking, since it is merely useful, historical, choice-worthy only for some other end. Hence, one would be more inclined to suppose that the goods mentioned earlier is the end, since they are liked for themselves. But apparently, they are not the end either, and many arguments have been presented against them. Let us then dismiss them. Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility, After a short silence, are your views? Or have you none but that of waiting for Mrs. Farrar's death, which is a melancholy and shocking extremity? Is her son determined to submit to this, and to all the tediousness of the many years of suspense in which it may involve you, rather than run the risk of her displeasure for a while by owning the truth? If we could be certain that it would be only for a while, but Mrs. Farrar's is a very heart of my book, Headstrong, Proud Woman.